Welcome to my Angular Quick Start. My name is Sergio Dueñas, and we are going to continue with the second unit where we are going to implement routes, services, and implement a little graphic part. Now, as we had already created an Angular project, now we are going to create a directory where we are going to locate the navigation bar here, and we are going to enter src, tend to app, and there we create a directory called component, okay, and inside we are going to create a component in this console that will be navigation bar. Here we write this code, as you can see. um, Here a navbar folder will be created. Now execute. So where the navigation bar will be. To check, we enter navbar within components, and the files have already been created. But in this case, we are going to delete two files since we only interest HTML and JS, and we delete the CSS and specs. We are left with the HTML and TS alone. Okay, as you can see, we must also install Bootstrap in our project. It's very easy, but this is the simplest way. We simply copy this code, as you can see in this part, and this code in the index directory we insert it also this code. The problem in this way is that we need the internet, no? So as you can see, the script always go last, yeah? So it has to be in this page, in this part, in index.html. Now we are going to implement the navbar in our Angular project. We are going to component and navbar HTML, and we delete this part from here. So we go to the Bootstrap documentation and look for navbar. Here the search appears, and we copy this part from here. Now we insert it in HTML. Well, now that it was copied, we are going to add it. We are going to TS. We copy this selector. We are going to app component that is outside the component folder that we created before. We delete everything and we copy the code opening and closing, so that the navbar is generated. It's already generated, and there is nothing yet in this part, as you can see. Well, now that we have created the navbar, we are going to create a new component that will be home. In this part, home, drop navbar and put home. Then we test the command and the home folder is created in components now. And we delete the spec and says files as with navbar before. Only interest .html and test. Now we go back to the Bootstrap documentation and we put June Putron, no? Which is what we will put in the HTML of home. We copy this code, then we go to home and we replace it, and that is it. We are also going to create another component called bikes in this case, just as we create it in component enter, and I already believe it. We also delete the two files that we don't need, spec and css as navbar and home. Let's not forget to delete the CS part in the test files of each component that we have created. Delete them and that will be it. Now we are going to create the root, and for that we are going to create a file called app.root, app.root. So outside of component. Now we have to write this code, write this code. As you can see, this is an arrangement of roots where all the roots will be, and here is a default root in case the root is not here. No? Then we will modify all this for home, no? For a home function. For that we must write home here, and if it meets the redirection to home, but we have to do an import home. No? That we must assign the home components to this part. It already changed. After that, what will be missing? Angular must consume the root that we give in it in this part. For example, in this case, home. No? Now that we imported app routing, we put it in imports and we execute it in the project. If we execute this, nothing will appear in home. This happens because one thing is missing. The root needs to be rendered. For that, we will put this code. With this, you can see that we put in home. To check it, we go to home, and there it is. We switched bicycles or home bikes, in this case, home bikes, no, and we can see it changed, no. As you can see, that will be all. Thank you very much.